Well, great to have you back Monday morning on the Morning Kick. This is Andrew Pitchford from Excite Media. And this morning we're going to be looking at local business during the coronavirus. I'm very pleased to be able to invite to the show somebody who's normally up pretty early looking after his customers. And that's Briggsy from Ipswich. G'day, Briggsy. How you doing, matey?
Hey, good to see you.
Hey, you've got a role right now working with OIKOS, which is you and your wife Christie's Cafe, 61 Limestone Street in Ipswich, if people want to pop by. But you've
Yeah.
been involved in the community in Ipswich for quite a while now. Can you give us a bit of background as to what you did before this cafe came along?
Yeah, mate. So, like for 10 years previous to the cafe, I was involved in community roles, working for local non-for-profits and stuff like that, all the way from recovery house management for people that, had addictions and had been incarcerated and needed an address to get out, to working with young people with disabilities and, people that needed to be engaged to re-enter and be a part of community as a rightful place where they deserve. Yeah,
And
so
so that giving back hasn't stopped, though. You've turned a bit of a corner. About a year ago, you and Christy took over OIKOS Cafe. Tell us where you are and who is the customers you serve today.
yeah, like you said, mate, I think it doesn't change in regards to how you do your service. You're still serving people. Maybe before that, I was serving a mentoring model around how to engage with community. Now I'm serving good coffee. But the thing is, there's still that interaction and there's still that point where you're meeting someone at the start of their day. So yeah, the only difference is instead of just giving a model of mentoring, now we're giving them their morning coffee and still have those chances to engage with people on a person to person level, which I love, and that's what I guess I enjoy most about the job.
Now, you'd know that we've called this show The Morning Kick, but you
Yeah,
truly give people the kick. Come
yeah.
on, be honest with me. How many people ask for the extra shot in their latte?
Mate, more than you would like to believe. But and that's the morning double kick or the morning drop kick, we'll call that.
I like that. That's very good. I'll take two of those. Hey, Brixie, talk to me about coffee, because that's another way that you're giving back to the community. So people can
Yeah.
come in, they can enjoy the ambience of Oikos, but you're giving beyond the cafe as well.
Yeah. So Kai Coffee, shout out to my man Sean Nouse from Sunshine Coast. So they're another small business. They're a coffee roaster. So the idea behind Kai Coffee and their bag of beans is that when we roast a kilo bag of Kai Coffee, 4 meals from each kilo bag are given to the kids in Uganda in the Shepherd Centre, which is an educational centre that helps young people in Uganda. Which, if you know anything about Uganda, it's a hot spot for for a lot of hard things to deal with. So yeah, so every time we grind a bag, Sean and Kai Coffee donates those 4 meals, and they have a really close partnership with the Shepherd Centre. Not only a close partnership, but Sean is actually on the board of the non-for-profit that deals with that centre as well. So we
So
love it, love it.
let's talk about life in the cafe. If
Yep.
things were back to so-called normal, how many
Mm.
people could you sit in the cafe and kind of how many customers might you expect each morning coming through the door?
So back to normal for us. We've got a big sign on the cafe that says where everyone has a seat at the table. That's our ethos. We really want this cafe to be a place where people can come, pause, and sit. And as you know, things have changed quite quickly. So the question, how many can we normally have under that banner? We could normally have about 20 sitting in at one time, even inside and outside. But yeah, obviously, as you just mentioned, that has changed dramatically recently.
So you're having to take care of your family, take care of staff,
Yeah.
and obviously there are customers who actually would like to still be taken care of. Now, if you ever get the opportunity to go to Oikos in Ipswich and have a look, Brett's Cafe actually has a fantastic little window counter, which is actually a great place to sit on the bar stool and have a latte or a flat white. But right now, that's turned into the serving counter. How have you turned things around and adapted?
Mate, like you said, adapting. I think anyone who's in small business and dealing with the coronavirus updates, we've realised that we're adapting every day. Something's handed down, and then the next day another thing's handed down for good reason, I might add. But obviously, for businesses, we have to be super adaptive. So through a journey of getting the right social distancing in place for dine-in, then changing that to no dine-in, then changing that to line markings out on the street, then changing that to a counter coffee idea where people can sort of spread themselves out across the front of our shop and the other shop next to us to wait for their coffee. Mate, yeah, we've just had to adapt on the fly. But in the beautiful position where we do have a nice, beautiful bay window that can open up, and that we've been able to just go, you know what, we'll serve from the bay window. And then obviously we've got an app that we have as well that people can order on. And yeah, it's just constantly adapting, man. It is crazy.
Now, one of the ways in which you can get in touch with OIKOS and see how they're adapting is to visit the OIKOS Cafe AUS, and that's on the screen at the moment. That's their Facebook page. And one of the things I liked about what you've been doing, Brett, has been introducing the lunchbox idea. Can you give us a bit of a background on that as well? Actually, there's that picture. That gives people an idea of what we've been talking about. There's Brett giving the big old smile at the counter. And then if we have a look on the window here, you can see that they're introducing the lunchboxes. You want to talk about how you put those in place?
Mate, once again, we're just looking at being innovative in the time that we have. Now, the lunchbox is a little bit different than your just normal takeaway. We've got our normal takeaway stuff, but our lunchboxes is essentially we've got all the raw ingredients in this box. So like, for instance, our no smashed avo, it's got the avocado, the goat's feta, the house-made chutney, the pumpkin seeds, all the stuff that goes on our no smashed avo, but you can take that with you. And then we've got a little how-to video on YouTube and on our page where people can link and then see how to put it together. Now, we're still working on getting all of our lunch boxes completed with video, so then people can do dirty nachos, which is our pulled pork nachos at home, and our clean nachos from home, so that people have the option, you know, they still want to have our food that they love and are used to, but then they can actually be a part of creation as well, and learn. I guess we're giving away our dirty secrets. When I say
I
dirty,
love it.
we got a dirty nacho.
and coming
the best sort of dirty.
Well, you're putting the edge. I mean, this is the gourmet deconstructed lunch in a brown bag, right?
Yeah, and we don't put
I love it.
whiskey brown bag as well. Don't worry, we're not. Yeah, so we're looking through brown bag. People, what's going on here? Where have they all come from? OIKOS? What's going on?
So how do you see things going over the next little while? Are there new innovations that you're preparing for, or are you truly having to wake up in the morning and deal with the day?
Oh, you truly both. You have to realize, firstly, my encouragement to business owners is realize you're not in it alone. Realize this is the new normal for now, and realize you have to innovate. There is no way around this. Like the old model is not good enough at the moment. There needs to be, you have to be able to find a new way of doing things. And it's tough, like, and be real with yourself and realize you're not the only one hurting. Like, I sound optimistic and, you know, and innovating, but it's not because we're having the spare time to do this. It's because our hand is being forced in this, and we have to be innovative. And that's what you have to do. And I would try to consult with your staff and people around you and ask them, what do you think we can do? Don't just put all this weight on your shoulders. Make sure you consult with those that are invested in your business and say, what do you think we can do to make this better? Get people along on the journey, because then it doesn't feel, you know, even for staff that are a bit like, what's going to happen next? And for yourself, you've got many people on the journey and you can share the load a little bit, which is nice.
Isn't it true? Communication is going to be a real key. And this, because we're all in this together, we shouldn't see this as competitive. We should share the love, share the ideas, learn from each other during this time.
Sure.
In terms of dealing with staff, that must be difficult as well. Have you had to work through some issues there?
100%. Like, for us, we've been open, as you said, for a bit over a year. We've had the same staff since we opened, which is weird in hospitality, but we have a really good community. And it's tough. Like, it's tough when we've had to cut people's hours back. Like, there's no choice. Once again, our hand had been forced, so we had to cut people's hours back. But you just touched on it before, Andrew. The biggest thing is communication. In this time, we have to show, as leaders in the community, as leaders in business, that we can be open, honest, and communicate well with those who are under us. When I say under us, those who are on our payroll at work, and then also our customers. We have to keep our customers informed as well, because it is a time where everyone feels like they don't know what the next day is going to bring. What does that bring for someone? Anxiety, fear, you know, all those sort of feelings. So our job to try to battle some of those feelings is to be an open communication, open book with people and say, look, this is where we're at. This is how we're trying to combat where we're at. This is how you can help us combat where we're at, and we'll reassess at the end of the week and have another conversation at the end of the week and go again.
You might be dealing with a situation with customers that are or aren't available to come into the cafe at the moment.
Yeah,
You've got a massive 6,500 friends on Facebook. Are
yeah,
you intentionally still talking to them? Is there a plan to keep them in the picture so that the
um,
family's together, even though they might not be visiting?
100%. Our Facebook has been our way to get mass information out. As you said, we've got a solid following there. So our way of getting information out, and I do a lot of video stuff, so which is a real blessing to be able, because you can get a lot across in a video. So we, try to keep people every week informed in where we're at. As every business is, we're just waiting on some legislation from the JobKeeper stuff from the government at the moment, so we can move on things like that. And then once again, then we can inform people of which way we're going. And a little scoop for you, Andrew, you can be hot off the press,
Love
is
this.
one of the things we're looking at, more than just being a cafe, is we're going to be when I say mass producing, like scale that down to like a cafe mass production of our chutneys and of all our sauces and stuff. So one of the things we'll be doing in the coming weeks is utilizing our stuff to be creating all the stuff that people love at our cafe to buy and take home. So we'll be a little nearly like a little grocery store, but only the specialty items that we create at our cafe.
I love it. Innovation, dealing with what the customers are after, and
Yeah.
still communicating. Brett, you've been a really good example. And can people reach out to you on Facebook if they want some
Oh,
advice or ideas to share?
of course. Just follow us, and I can see the link is handily right there. If you just follow the link to our Facebook page, feel free to message us. Have a look at all the videos that have been in that we've done previously, and you'll most probably be able to get a really good timeline of sort of where things have gone and then now where things are at. Yeah, and I'm always keen to collaborate and talk, and and to get ideas from people where we definitely don't have all the answers. We're always keen to hear some creative ideas as well.
Briggsy, you've been wonderful. Thanks very much for sharing some love this morning and helping us understand how OIKOS have been dealing with the COVID. Can I encourage you? Yep, grab a coffee, a Kai coffee, Briggsy would tell you. And the other
Yeah,
thing we'd recommend is if you want to look up the meaning of OIKOS, do your own research. I think you'll
yeah,
find out that there's some real depth behind the meaning of the
yeah.
OIKOS Cafe. Well, been great to have you on the morning kick. Do remember that you can also get hold of the Thrival plan from Excite Media. We're giving away this free checklist. It's actually 20 pages of great resources that you can get hold of by going to excitemedia.com.au/thrive. Have a look on that page, what you're going to find. And if I bring it up here, we'll get all the details. There you are. You'll be able to see all the information about the Thrival plan, how to download it, and we encourage you to share it with your friends. It's basically a free resource. We don't mind if you pass it on. Anybody can use it. But if after using it you think, hey, I could do with somebody doing a bit of an audit on what I'm doing or provide me with some advice, then reach out for a free 30-minute meeting and we'll happily come alongside you and help your business. It's been great to have you on the morning kick. We're back again tomorrow around the same time. Come to Excite Media's Facebook page for details of the next upcoming episode.